first time the tree bore fruit, it was late in the season. Old Jonah Harper had walked the edge of the field, wiping sweat from his brow. The dry summer had left the land cracked and parched, the crops withering in their rows like forgotten prayers. Jonah had been prepared for disappointment. But then, at the edge of the woods, he saw it, a tree heavy with strange, swollen fruit. The fruit glistened like polished rubies, their skin too smooth, too red, too alive. Jonah picked one, holding it in his rough hands, and sliced it open with his pocket knife. The flesh was dark and rich, almost pulsing. He took a bite and felt a jolt, sharp as lightning, race through him. Sweet, metallic, and invigorating, it tasted like something forbidden. That night, he brought the fruit home to his wife, Clara, and their son, Levi. Clara, weary from months of scraping meals together, was skeptical, but Levi, always curious, begged to try it. They ate in silence, each bite strange and thrilling. By morning, they all felt lighter, stronger, as if they had shed years of weariness. The tree became their secret. Jonah tended to it daily, hauling water from the well and pulling weeds around its roots. The fruit grew faster than any crop Jonah had ever seen, ripening in days. The family began selling the fruit at market under the name Harper's Miracle Harvest. Word spread, and soon, townsfolk came from miles around, eager to taste the strange, addictive fruit. The Harpers prospered for the first time in years. But then the ground began to change. Jonah noticed at first, the soil beneath the tree turned dark, almost black, and smelled faintly of iron. He dismissed it as natural, maybe even a sign of fertility. But Clara was uneasy. The hens stopped laying when Jonah tossed leftover fruit to them, and the family dog wouldn't go near the tree. Then Levi got sick. It started with a fever that no doctor could explain. His skin turned pale, his energy drained away. Jonah's determination grew sharper. He took more care with the tree, convinced it would save his boy. One night, when Levi's breathing grew shallow, Jonah went out with a lantern and stood before the tree. Its branches seemed to tremble in the breeze, though the air was still. "Help us," he whispered. The tree seemed to answer. The next morning, Levi was better. The fever broke, and his color returned. Clara wept with relief, but Jonah's relief was short-lived. Out by the tree, he found a dead rabbit, its body limp, its blood pooled at the base of the trunk. The tree's roots had grown thick and gnarled, and he could swear they twitched as he stared at them. Jonah tried to ignore it. The fruit sold too well, and the family needed the money. But more animals began to disappear, a calf, a stray cat, a fox. Each time, Jonah would find traces of blood near the tree. One night, Clara caught him standing near the tree with a shovel and their old rooster, its legs tied together. She screamed at him, demanding to know what he was doing. Jonah's face was pale, his hands trembling as he explained. "It needs more," he said, his voice hollow. "It's keeping us alive." Clara refused to listen. She packed her things, took Levi, and fled to her sister's house in town. Jonah stayed, tethered to the tree and the dark promise it whispered to him. Months passed. The fruit grew larger, glossier, more alluring. People still came to the farm to buy it, though Jonah's appearance scared some away. His skin had grown pale, his eyes sunken. He rarely spoke, except to the tree. One night, Levi returned to the farm, now a young man, tall and strong. He found Jonah slumped beneath the tree, his breath ragged. The ground was soaked with blood, the roots crawling over Jonah's legs like serpents. "It's the only way," Jonah rasped. "The bloodline has to feed it." Levi stared at the tree, the fruit glinting like jewels in the moonlight. He took a step closer, then another. The roots shifted, beckoning. Jonah reached out a hand, his eyes pleading. But Levi turned and walked away. He left the farm, the tree, and the legacy behind. The last thing he heard was his father's anguished scream, swallowed by the rustling of leaves. Years later, no one remembered the Harpers or their miracle fruit. The farm fell into ruin, the land overgrown with weeds. But the tree remained, its roots reaching deeper, its fruit waiting for the next bloodline to find it.